Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Phoenix Zen's vlog. That's such a mouthful. I'm Lehua, and I'm the creator of the site Phoenix Zen, and this vlog is just a place to kind of talk about storms. And actually, in the past few vlogs, I've talked about several storms of mine, such as confidence and perfectionism. But now the vlog is going to take a slightly different direction, and it's going to lead into the launch of my upcoming decluttering and organizing program. So until then, I'm going to release a few simple, practical tips that you can use right now to help you become more organized. And on the way, you're going to kind of learn a little bit about me. So hopefully it's fun and interactive for you and helps you. So when I first got this idea for decluttering and showing it on the vlog, I wanted to do some episodes on clearing physical clutter so that you're not just sitting here watching me talk and sit here. I wanted to get more interactive and make it more interactive for you guys. So I am still kind of toying with that idea of doing physical clutter at some point, but I wanted to start maybe by doing digital clutter, which is another clutter in itself, and it's very deceiving. So, that's where we're gonna start in this episode, at least. And it's very different from physical clutter. I'm not gonna go over all the various differences. Some are apparent, and you can just think about the challenges that are unique to digital clutter. But in this episode, I'm gonna more so show you the approach I use, as well as a few tips to help you get started so you're not overwhelmed with tons of files and programs and archives, digital stuff. So my challenge for you as you're watching is to think of issues you have with digital clutter. And you can comment or just email me or contact me in some way, and we can figure it out together. I'll address some of those issues. I'm going to address some of my own issues that I have with digital clutter because everyone's different. But yeah, we'll go through a few of my files. As you go through them, as you see me going through my files and explaining the tips, hopefully that'll give you some insight on how you can help yourself in your own situation. Just take my advice with a grain of salt because it might not work for you, but it might. So just experiment and be open-minded. So yeah, let's get started. So as you can see, this folder on the left is actually my main folder for my external hard drive, which is about 2 terabytes. So it's a pretty big external hard drive, and I have it that way for a reason. Like, I don't want to have a ton of different flash drives where I might misplace them, or I like to have everything in one place, and it's a lot of space for that. So that's why I have that. So I'm in this part is the main file, and the one on the right is the to organize folder, as you can see on the left one that I highlighted. And this is actually the first tip I recommend, is when you are dealing with digital files and you have a ton and you're not starting from scratch, is to kind of make yourself start from scratch. Put all of your files into this one folder and either, label it something like to organize or in progress or something, and just start with one folder. So in the beginning, of course, I'm in the middle of archiving and organizing, so you don't actually get to see it from scratch. But in the beginning, I only had this folder, and everything that was originally on this external hard drive was in this folder. So I didn't have all these, applications, archives, documentation. I created those along the way, and I took things out of this to organize folder and I put them in the correct place. So it's like the clean slate approach. It's much easier than starting with everything as it is to just start with a clean slate. And it's much easier to do that with this in a digital form instead of a physical form. Like with physical clutter, it's not that easy to take everything out of your room and start fresh. So that's the first tip I have for you. So yeah, everything's in this to organize folder, and I'm still working through it. But the second tip I would leave for you guys is to have a labeling system. Labeling and organizing is key with digital clutter because that's the way that you identify what it is you're looking for. And if you don't have a consistent system, it's going to be really hard for you to find anything. Take, for instance, I'm going to go into this, let's see. I'll go into the media folder, for instance. And it's really, once I go into the media folder, so this is music and movies and stuff. I kept pictures in a separate folder, even though it's considered media, because I have so many pictures. But anyway, so I have it organized in such a way that, you know, it's categories. You might decide to do it by, for yours, if you do media, you might decide, oh, I want to put one folder for music and one folder for movies. Everyone's filing system is going to be different. Find something that works for you and stick with it. That's the main thing. Like, there's no right or wrong answer, but the key is to be consistent and simple. So yeah, as you can see, I have anime. Doujinshi is like, I guess it's kind of like fan fiction. I have J-dramas and K-dramas. See, if I want it to be a little bit more clear cut, and I might actually do the clean slate again, is, as I said earlier, I might just keep it to movies, series, and music. So that way it's more clear cut as to what it falls under. Because there's J-dramas that are J-movies too, you know? So, yeah, I'm not perfect at this either. So just, you know, find what works for you. It's been a while since I've cleaned this external hard drive, which is why I'm kind of going through it again as an example. But yeah, so just find what works for you. So that was tip number 2, is the labeling. I guess, let's see. Yeah, so if you can think of any challenges that are specific to digital clutter, just kind of leave a comment below and I can get to it. But yeah, I guess the third approach would be, or the third tip that I'm going to leave you in this video is to not do a tag, or what is the word? To not play tag with your clutter. So you know when you're in a room and you see something that's not supposed to be there, and you go into the room that it does belong in to put it away, and then you see something in that room that needs to be put away or something that needs to be done, and sooner or later, like 10 steps later, you're like completely deviated from where you initially like wanted to be from step 1. So being consistent, like for instance, if I were to go into the job hunting folder, I'm not going to because there might be personal information in here. I haven't checked it. But yeah, for the job hunting, once I start in that folder and start clearing it out to put into wherever it needs to go into this main area, I stay in that folder until it's done. And you might find that you have folders within folders within folders. Go into break it down into small steps and then start systematically. Don't start within a big folder because then you still get lost. I'm trying to think of an example. Let's see. Maybe documents. For instance, documents. All the documents I have all of these folders, right? For previous jobs or schoolwork. If I were to organize this and place it somewhere else, just as an example, I'm not gonna, let's say there's for Shamanat, I know for sure there's more work in here. Look, all of my classes. I'm not gonna start within this whole folder. I'm going to start within a subfolder until I break it down and have no more folders left. Because otherwise I'm just going to get so overwhelmed and I'm going to be playing tag. So that is my third tip, is to stay focused. Maybe if you, for those who are really visual, and I'm visual so I recommend this, and I'm going to try this myself too, is to put a post-it with what folder you're working on or some sort of reminder and just stick with it, and let a timer run. Let a Pomodoro timer run. That's the 20-minute timer that I talk about in my post. But let that timer run and then take a break. If you're not done with it yet, continue on after the break's done. And just stay that, focused until you're done with that folder. But the key is to break it down so you're not overwhelmed and so you're actually doing things systematically. So those are the 3 tips I'm going to leave for you today. First one again is to do a clean slate approach. I'm going to go back to the main folder so you can see. Where the only folder you'll see is the one called organize or in progress or whatever you want to name it. Cleaning project. And you dump everything on that folder. So it shouldn't look like this. It should look completely empty, except for that one folder where everything is. Second tip again was to label everything. Labeling is key, and be consistent. So as you're moving things from this folder, this folder, to where it needs to go, you create labels and stuff, and you stay consistent with how it's organized. If you have to write it down to remember, do so. But make sure that it's easy for you to remember so that you can be consistent. Because if you can't remember it, you're not going to be consistent. So, have some fun along the way. But, yeah, keep it simple. And the third key, or the third step, tip, whatever you call it, was to not play tag. To stay focused instead, and to go within a subfolder until you have no more folders left, and just break it down so much so that you can work on one small area at a time. Doing these 3 things will help immensely with your digital clutter. I'd love to hear how it's working for you guys. If you have any suggestions, please share them below. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed this episode and that you got some value out of it. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll release some more later. I like doing this. I think it's more fun than to actually see and demonstrate this kind of stuff. So I might actually demonstrate in the future how I do it instead of just talking about it. But hopefully this kind of makes it more visual for you. So yeah, just feel free to comment below. Just let me know what you think. And also what tips work for you, like any additional tips, any concerns you might have, because I can address them in future episodes. And yeah, take care everyone and have a wonderful day. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, I'm back. I wanted to share an Easter egg, and I might actually put these into the episodes, just as little tidbits, interesting little factoids about me. But yeah, this picture is actually from a video game called Journey, and it's actually the costume that I've been working on these past few weeks, which is why I haven't been as active with Phoenix Zen as I'd like to be. But now that I'm done with the costume, and the convention that I'm planning to wear it at is this week, I can actually focus more on Phoenix Zen because I'm done with the costume. So I'm really excited to be wearing it and portraying the character. The character doesn't have a name, it's just a wanderer. But yeah, it's a game for the PS3. I recommend you check it out. I watched a walkthrough for it online, and it was just a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm gonna The Easter egg for this episode is that little factoid, and I'm gonna show you pictures of the costume that I made. And I haven't shown it to anyone online yet. Like, I haven't posted it even on my Facebook page. So if you're watching this, I wanted to give you guys a chance. As a way of saying thank you for watching the vlog I just did, a sneak peek at it before I even wear it at the convention or before anyone sees it. So, yeah. This is the costume, and I will show you a few pictures. Thanks again for watching, and have a wonderful week.